Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to MYST. Nope, Riven. So we showed the funny ending if you click on the trap book right now, but then it went to the credits, so I'm not going to bother to show the other alternate endings. Unless we really screw up here, we should be done with the game in this recording. But I will say, just in general, and leave it for other people to figure out, the alternate endings that you can have according to the walkthrough. If you open what is called the Star Fissure, which you'll see later, before visiting Gin or Catherine. So if you just kind of trigger the last action you actually take in the entire game without dealing with Gin or Catherine, that is an alternate ending. If you visit Gin and capture him, and then open the Star Fissure without freeing Catherine, if you visit Gin and don't capture him and do not free Catherine but go directly back and open the Star Fissure, why these are going to be slightly different alternate endings, I don't know. I guess they wrote multiple endings for a game that really should not have multiple endings for as complicated and long as this game is. When Gin holds the trap book up for you to go, refuse to link, return 2 more times, and refuse both times. So if you just don't link, after capturing Link in the trap book, touch it yourself. After capturing Gin in the trap book, return to the MYST age and touch it. MYST age is where we are right now, I believe. Touch the trap book when Keta gives it to you in the MYST age. That's the one we did. After Keta gives you the trap book, return to Riven and touch it before visiting Gin. And visit Gin, then go to the MYST age and get the trap book. Touch the book before going back to Gin. Why these are all labeled as alternate endings, I have no idea. Like, really no clue what would be different there. Another thing I don't really have a clue on is how do we get out of here? Seems like somebody's coming in. So the game gave you Catherine's diary, which unfortunately I couldn't read any of. So that backstory is gone. There's only 3 books in this entire game: is Atris's diary, Catherine's diary, and Gin's diary, and the trap book. After you got Catherine's diary and the trap book, they come back and they give you a linking book to go from the MYST age back into Riven using this rock. Which the idea of a rock being able to let you get into Riven is confusing, because what is this? Is this like a normal linking book to a different place, and then they figured out a way to overlap a single page of Riven and that's how you get there? Or what? Like, I have no idea. Doesn't matter. What matters is there's only a little bit left to do here. Although, to be fair, there's a decent amount of stuff that's going to have to happen just to get to the place, to get to the end. It's still rather possible you could wander around at this level and just not know what you're doing. And it's a little weird that they wouldn't just trap you in this jail. They're kind of not using the jail for its intended purpose. Gin could have been standing right there. Yeah, this hole is big enough for a human head to squeeze through. Easily. Anybody could squeeze their entire body through this. A lot of walking is going to take place. There's nothing more we need to do here. All these people in the village, just non-players in the game. I would have preferred, if this was a modern game, for the people to just walk around the whole time, or just not be there. I think MYST 1 had it better to just not have people in the worlds. So I'm just gonna take this orb. Let's see. All these little secrets. Too many of these secret doors just open with a single click or switch, however. And it feels like there's considerably fewer puzzles in Riven than MYST. Arguably, maybe just one step better story writing. Definitely one step better than MYST was as far as graphics and audio. But the puzzle-wise, there's fewer of them. They're just bigger and more complicated, and in my opinion, way too complicated. Interesting that this is spinning again. I would not have expected it to be spinning. Did I get it on the first try? Just click all the buttons. Just keep clicking until it works. Because there we go. When it does work, it'll take the controller away from you. See, you have that rusted dome that gets turned into a golden dome. The arrogance again with the gold. It's just like... Alright, so 23, 22, I believe 14, 10, and 8. And I'm just doing this off the top of my head to see if that was right. And now for the big confrontation with Gin. You can't, as best as I can tell, you can't free Catherine without defeating Gin. So you kind of have to play the game in this order. But I would also be rather surprised if it wasn't a low 60% of players who played Riven the first time that made it this far. Because there's a major difficulty spike in the Moiti Age puzzle. Like, way too high of a difficulty spike.
Well done. I was greatly relieved when I received word that you had recovered the book. I don't quite know how you managed it, but if I may.
Sure. Take the book.
Thank you.
Remember, the book looks like it's a linking book to Dunny. Of course, you'd have to read more than just the front page. So turning the page makes sense. To see if it was alright. And Atris would have had to change this book slightly. to just ever so slightly to turn it into a trap book. And so it looks like he's about to touch it and leave you in this cell. And so you think maybe he's turned good.
It would be best if you went through first.
So I go through first into the trap book, which would be game over normally. And I'm just seeing blackness. And you can see he's got a spear with him and goggles, and he's coming to kill Atris. And the trick there is because I was in the book, now he's in the book, and I'm outside of the cell. So we do get in this room. I do want to just very carefully save. That way I can click on this book and see if we can see him in it. No, you can't. I guess it wouldn't really work as a trap if that was the case. There we have his inks and things that he's trying to make special inks to make special well, he's trying to make special linking books. And he's got this symbol. We see this symbol all over the place. We don't really know what it's for. This is a smaller version of the things we saw in the rotating room, the beetles. And here we have a book that I don't think you can even click on because it's not finished. And it doesn't have a title on it or anything, so it's just a blank book that he's working on. Over here we have a device that turns on or off the power to the linking things, which probably don't need to turn it off. Honestly, I'm the only one that's gonna come here. And he's boiling water or something to get that. There's a hole down this way, and I would like to go out this door. And fortunately, the door is locked. So he must have had the key and locked it before he left. Unless this opens that. So that is now unlocked. So no more cage. But it still can't open this door. It's an odd sound. And so down the hole we go. This, I assume, is supposed to be his... Let's see what it is, actually. I don't know. So I have no idea who that was or what they were saying, whether that was Catherine talking and saying something nice to Atris or again, or if it was somebody completely different. We don't really get a grandmother or mother in this. Seems. Seems like you have a sink that doesn't close. Interesting. Well, that's not much of a basin. And what do we have over here? Like, I cannot make this out at all. This might be Catherine. This might be his wife. I assume this is Gin. I assume this is a pipe. We've got a fancy bed. We've got some things, a fork and spoon, a weird fork and spoon. We've got and so that's the code. And instead of just taking this object with us, which is like, clearly we have inventory. Clearly we have inventory. And could just take this object with us. They instead are going to force us to memorize that. So maybe I yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get that. Ding. Tap, tap. And more reading. So this is probably the reveal of how he's actually evil, and all of this is just going down. This is just his latest journal. Damn these savages, I would be well advised to leave them all in the 5th age and begin again with a clean sheet of paper. A stranger has arrived in Riven with a linking book to Tunny, and once again my useless minion was overtaken by the rebels. From what little I could decipher from his muddled explanation, it apparently occurred sometime this morning. The cage has been damaged, but it is no matter. Everything I need is here now. Atreus is certainly behind this, yet how could he be so foolish as to send someone here with a linking book? Such blatancy is unlike him. Could it be that he has had a change of heart? After all these years, is he finally letting his poor old father go? No, he's only after one thing, and perhaps he should find her. For now, I only need to wait. So, pause the screen, I guess, if you want to read the rest of this. But I'll do it a little bit slower. Pause now. Pause now. Pause now. I guess you'd want to read it the right way forward, wouldn't you? Let's try it again. Pause now. 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 And pause now. So if you wanted to read this, what is, I guess, now the 4th or 5th book, you could. And I couldn't really care enough. However, the only thing that's important here is this. And this is ding, crank, crank, snap, ding. I think I got that. That's some kind of time piece or something. Worst case scenario, we get Messed up. So, at this point, the only reason why you'd really screw up is because you accidentally did things out of order. The game has done nothing to really make you believe Catherine is crazy. We've captured Gin and seen that he was evil. It's been completely proven, and the game really didn't do anything to dissuade you of that. Perhaps if the island was like full of statues of Gin, where it said he did something great and helpful, then maybe you could be slightly confused by some propaganda into believing Gin was a good guy, and that he did good things over the past 30 years, but we didn't see any of that. We saw him, anything he built was ostentatious and gold and built around cruelty and subjugating people, not helping people. Alright, so I think this is ding, ding, crank, crank, snap, ding. No. Hey, that worked on the first try. First try, and you don't even have to pull the lever to come up here. Now, if this was going to be a crazy twist like the first MYST game, it'd be funny if she just stabbed you right now. But then the game also would need an autosave. It probably needs an autosave anyways. Am I going to get to walk around this room? I bet I don't.
We have to move quickly. Again,
Yep.
people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book?
Be funny if she touches it and traps herself and then freeze skins.
We're all free. You're captured again.
That'll be interesting if she like breaks the book or burns it.
But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what they'll do once they realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure.
Now,
I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
she runs off with the book. Are we gonna hear a splash? Now, if you're in one of those books, do you live forever? Or do you grow old and die? That's an interesting question. And I'm still waiting for it to decide to stop playing the music, so it'll cut out of the cutscene. Or has my mouse turned off? No, it was just an incredibly long thing. And she did have a knife with her because she cut the wires, so you couldn't get back in there. So she's not going back there either. I guess she only needed what she had on her back. There we go. Did she link and did she know the code? Or did she just jump in the water? Is Catherine swimming that way? We don't even know the distance from this island to the rest of the islands. We use this code way too often. Let's see. 14, 10, and 8. And there's literally nothing else to do on the island. I mean, who knows? There could be something more to do on the island, but as far as the game is concerned and actual gameplay, it's time to wrap it up. She specifically told us to just go to the telescope and reopen the fissure, the star fissure, as it's called. And there was different things we could have done. But I guess at this point, since I've both captured Gin and freed Catherine, there's actually, she took the book, there's no alternate ending, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I could do now that would trigger an alternate ending, which is fine. I don't feel like watching the credits 5 different times just to see 5 different videos. Since these are all QuickTime videos, you probably could go into the files pretty easily anyways. Interesting, it seems like there's a pressure plate that turns these on. Will this take me to where I want to be? Yeah, this is the best location I think to transfer to. I could go to the forest, but then I'd have to ride a hover cart one more time, and I don't see a reason to do that. It's kind of weird they never made a Masterpiece Edition, like a real Riven Masterpiece Edition game. I think, honestly, particularly for games like this, going forward and just making new games like Abduction and Firmament, which is the game they're working on now, and they are going to re-release, so they'll probably polish all the old games. Hopefully that it's not just re-releasing things that they've already done with no polish on it whatsoever. You know, I don't think there's enough money in it, enough profit to try and fix some of the problems with Riven. The problem of it being too long, the problem of the puzzles being too complicated. You can certainly put in a photo mode, you certainly could put in hints. You certainly could put this in a newer engine and allow you to walk around with like a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard and just go through these slideshows of scenes. But interesting, this has been reset. So apparently they decided they didn't want me to be able to go in some directions. And it almost feels like if I might not be able to go this way either. But I probably can. I don't know why they would reset it. Like, is there some way I could trap myself? Honestly? Like, the hover cart's not here either, which is a slight indication I might not be able to go that way. But I don't want to go that way anyways. We are towards the end of the game. So let's just go back in here. So this is the star fissure that, I mean, it's a little weird because it's a hole in the ground that goes into kind of a hole in reality. So not towards the center of the earth or anything like that. It's really just from one end to the other end, and then they sealed it up with metal. We have this telescope to look here, which was built, I assume, by Gin. And we have the code, which I believe is 3113 and then 4. No. 3135. Shoot. Journal time. I come back to the journal and read the code that she wrote down in the Disney numbering system. Here it is. Alright. That should be 311334. And there's a step. There's a stop there. Apparently that was important too. 31134. Hey, and it worked. So now we can look here and you can see stars, which makes no sense. There really was no star puzzle in this game. Seriously? Oh yeah, we're going down and then we hit the button. And then it zooms in a little bit more. And we go down. And it zooms in a little bit more. And it looks like it's the exact same picture. It's not changing at all by moving. And we go a little bit more. And we go a little bit more. And now it's right on the surface. And now you can start to see this. While you see all these stars, there's just this blackness. So we go down a little bit more. And break the glass. Now, the intro to the first game, you start as a person falling through space who finds a book in this weird atmosphere place. Congratulations, I've just destroyed Riven. And drastically changed the atmosphere and things. And because of that, Atris saw us.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atris!
I don't.
So he probably would have just pushed you down the hole if you hadn't saved Catherine, and you probably would have gotten a different ending there. That's something Atris would definitely have done.
The villagers are safely in the Rebel Age.
Oh, so she moved all of them to the Rebel Age.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us.
Wouldn't it be crazy if this was a trick and he was trapping his own wife?
This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. You know where to find me. Goodbye, my friend.
And he's just like leaving you to die. and he's letting the book drop down in the void. And you're falling through space like in the first game, although it looks a lot better than the first game. So it's not really space, as it is something that looks like space but has a breathable atmosphere. It never gets fully explained. Some kind of interdimensional...
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my MYST book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
So they just kind of leave you there. It's kind of like the Half-Life 2 episode 2 ending. It's just like you're always gonna be left in the void until you need it again. Now the weird thing about MYST 3, and until that gets re-released and is actually on PC, I can't play it. And if a Riven remaster version comes out, we'll take a look at it, but we probably won't play the whole thing unless it's completely new puzzles. A lot of Millers here on the credits. That's not a surprise. It's the two Miller brothers and their family. In MYST 3, Atris has a new daughter. So, and she's not like a baby. She's like a 13, 14-year-old. So it either takes place 13, 14 years later, or time happens differently. Atris doesn't seem like he's really aged that much. But then again, maybe he is also not a human that ages at the same rate at all. Considerably more than 2 people programmed this game, which really was just kind of the Miller brothers that made MYST. And because MYST was a major success, it certainly allowed Ubisoft to be the publisher and Cyan to be the developer to make a much bigger game, which though kind of hurt it. Like, if Riven had to been a little bit tighter and smaller, and if it hadn't had so many scenes where they are just connecting scenes between one step up the stairs and the next step up the stairs, it would have been a quicker experience. It would have been an easier experience too. There's a lot of scenes where there's nothing to the left or right of you, just so you don't learn to always look to the left or right of you when there is something hidden that way. The main problem though is the sound puzzle. Being tone deaf, which is what I practically am, I really couldn't have solved the sound puzzle ever. I had to cheat the first time I played it. I cheated the second time. Thank goodness it doesn't change every time, like some of the other codes change or seem like they change. And that's it for that. It just exits straight out, and I had to record this differently, so now you're just seeing my recording software. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. I do like Riven, not as much as MYST. I kind of like MYST 3 better than Riven. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.